I didn't see nothing. The rules was broke when I got here. What happened is the sun boiled over the rim, got on everything. Everybody starts pointing and the cops arrive, like maybe somebody thought the cops should arrive. I seen cops before in books, so I skipped out the back. The sun was waiting, hit me full in the face. When I came to, it was all over the radio. Night fell or was pushed. The body no longer matters. The hide, bones, a gold tooth, things you'd find in a raccoon's wallet. I had it wrong. The heart is not caged like an animal, but like a liquor store. It is caged because of the men who wait all night for it to open. Desire is not a thirst or even a hotel fire. It is a coat pocket searched repeatedly for a response to one's name. The body is to burn or it is to bury. It is to be blown apart or scavenged. The body is checked for bodies and roped off. Bag the body. The point is the act of the body. It was here. It looked like me. You waved. Last night my love brought me wildflowers, and as we lay together in the easy dark, I heard them leave the vase and move around the house. When I woke, my love was gone. The flowers watched me go from room to room. They followed me with a dry, wet sweep and shuffle that was something like my own breath, never close, never within reach. I couldn't get near them. They curled if I faced them or turned out their clear barbs to warn me off. Now they are drinking at the sink. The light begins to rust on the sill, and I know as I watch them push each other out of the stream, they are preparing for night's second ceremony, the hunt. I saw a guy walking down the street talking into a cell phone, or so I presumed, but cell phones are getting so small now that that I couldn't actually see it, and I thought, what if he's not talking into a cell phone? This is alternatives to a man talking on a cellular phone. His ear has been nearly severed and he is holding it in place. Aware he may go into shock, he recites his barber's address to give to the police. He is holding a dry pasta shell and enjoying the evening sounds of a restaurant in Florence. The maitre d' talks back to him through a lady's shoe. His hand is empty. This morning it began to speak on its own and remembers things the man has forgotten. Just now it is describing his mother's thumb. In 1887, Thomas Edison began electrocuting dogs for the press. He called it his duty to warn us against the evil of alternating current, a power he had failed to discover first. It was not killing, he told a reporter. The dogs had been Westinghoused. When he was 12, Edison lost half his hearing. No one knew how, but there were many theories. One that he was pulled aboard a train by his ears. Another that he repeatedly forced coins into them to attract lightning. There were cats, too, and birds when he could get the electrodes to fit. Once he even wired a sunflower, which opened like an eye to weep out its seeds. From his crib, Edison routinely blew out his bedside candles, howling until they were relit. On several mornings, his mother woke to find a half-eaten stub dried to the infant's gown. In 1903, he ran 6,600 volts through an elephant named Topsy. She had killed 3 men, the last a drunk who gave her a cigarette. Edison filmed her execution to play for whomever might ask. Upon hearing his own voice through a phonograph, he exclaimed, "I am always afraid of things that work the first time." Einstein was born in 1879, which is already pretty brilliant. Most people couldn't drive or tell you where the lights were, but when his mom brought home a baby sister, he knew to ask, "Where are her wheels?" It's a true story. My big red dictionary defines time as a period, then later as an interval. Granted, it's the 1920 edition. Love is defined as a losing score in tennis. The giant panda as the opposite of lesser panda. But in 1921, Einstein won the Nobel. All America did was smile at Europe and then invent the vibraphone. It's still embarrassing, though it helps to pretend time and space are just ideas like islands or maps. When Einstein asked a conductor, "What time does Oxford stop at this train?" he meant every moment of it. He meant, "Look out the window and tell me the wheels aren't turning the earth. Tell me God plays dice. Tell me the force of a kiss will put any body at rest." In 1955, all the blood left his heart and ran to his feet, though no one knows when it arrived. News out of Jersey has always been sketchy. However, I can tell you, for poetry makes nothingness happen, that's when time began slowing down to the present crawl. Before the year was out, James Dean was put to death under the law of inertia. So was Emmett Till. Everyone was singing, "Ain't That a Shame?" There's an epigraph at the beginning of this poem which comes from the writings of a really unusual figure, somebody whose writings are not that well preserved. Say it with me, Gonzalo Fernández de Oviedo y Valdés, who was a writer who chronicled a portion of the Spanish conquest. In this island are certain glowworms that shine in the night as do ours, but give a greater light, so much that when the men of the island go any journeys in the night, they bear some of these worms made fast about their feet and head. By the light of these also the women work in their houses in the night. In the houses of the night. In the houses of the night there are children who sleep disfigured by twilight, whose bodies mimic the dark margin of the landscape, whose shadows terrify the children beside them. There are some brave enough to face the wall, who laugh in their dreams, who ride in boats small as leaves in a tub, smaller. There are men who take baths while smoking, while watching the door, while talking to women. There are some who bathe in total darkness, who walk wet to their beds, who stare like horses, their eyes rimless, dark as tree water. They do not dream. They would not survive it. In the houses of the night, there are dogs who speak like men. There are birds who sing songs with words to them, garden after garden of moths who mourn each closed flower, who die of grief. There are spiders who make wreaths to catch them. There are worms that call us into the ground like neon signs. There are roads that remember canals, roads where the tar never hardened and the blacktop gives like muscle, where the street lamps tremble with the idling of sunken cars. The ants have gone mad in their palaces. There are roads flooded with the ebon wings of drone kings, roads that blow themselves out. In the houses of the night, there are women who whisper in closets, who argue with mirrors, who talk easily to men in bathtubs. There are some who bathe standing at a sink, who do it again, who wash their bodies away. They do their sleeping like work. They dream as a favor. Oh.